Now apparently the Assyrians want to go into a non-aggression pact with us. We're naturally going to refuse because that's a terrible idea. I'm sorry, but no deal is better than a bad deal. And oh my goodness, look at that lovely voice. Oh my, I wonder who was doing that voice that day. They sound fantastic. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Spiffing Brit, and today you join me in the wonderful world of Humankind. Now, what is Humankind? Well, it's a 4X grand strategy game, very similar to Endless Legend, if you've ever played it, as well as also the wonderful Civilization franchise. Now, if there's one thing you should know, it's that generally most grand strategy games similar to Civilization take on board many similar concepts and ideas. This game, likewise to Civilization, took on the concept of being completely and utterly imbalanced, full of exploits and utterly broken, and I love it. And best of all, the developers chose to actually completely and utterly embrace it by, for example, making me an actual character in the video game. That's right, say hello to Spiff. Oh, isn't he just a handsome, majestic bugger? His charisma stat's so high because he drinks Yorkshire tea out of the perfectly balanced mug. Now, today we're going to be showcasing a couple of fun exploits and gameplay imbalances that I've found in my time whilst playing the brand new closed beta of the game. So without further ado, we're actually going to dive in. Now, of course, immediately before you start a game, you want to, of course, choose the difficulty that you intend to play at. Now, interestingly, most people would believe playing at the easiest difficulty is going to be the easiest and is going to allow you to get the highest score. Wrong! Actually, the greatest way to make score is to play at the Humankind difficulty. You might be thinking, hang on a second, that seems mad. The AI will be at insane difficulties, it'll be incredibly challenging. No, it won't be. You see, at the Humankind difficulty, the AI cheats out of thin air. It will do it in front of you for no apparent reason. March an army up to a city and suddenly watch 7 units appear out of thin air at no economical cost or damage to the AI. It's incredible. And because the AI is cheating so aggressively, they are handed infinite quantities of free gold. Now, that's all well and good, but what if we had a way of getting that said free gold off of the AI? Well, ladies and gentlemen, our boffins at Spiffco found such a way. So without further ado, let's dive into a game as we create the ultimate meta and break Civilization. I will actually be playing as myself, but I'll also be playing against myself for the ultimate challenge. I'll also throw in, who else do I have on look? I have Frankie. Okay, I'll throw Frankie in as yellow over here. Fantastic stuff. Right, without further ado, let's actually throw ourselves into this game. Now, the thing is, for the closed beta, everyone is on the exact same map, and the map never changes, which means I have a distinct advantage. I know this map pretty well. For a start, I know that most players will probably go up north, or they'll go right to actually start settling their tribe. As a true meta player, however, we're heading straight south, because there are 2 world wonders sat exactly next to each other right here, and if we can snag them before the AI does, we're set for life. Anyway, turn 1, we're going to grab ourselves this little bit of food, then we're going to hop across the river and start heading south. Then we're going to make our way over to the sanctuary and pillage it for wonderful food. That gives us a second tribesperson immediately, who we're of course straight away going to break off, and we'll send them to go grab this science and then also that food. Lovely stuff. Meanwhile, we will be running in this direction to grab more science and, oh look, a woolly mammoth. Well, we're gonna have to ignore the woolly mammoth because there's no way we can defeat them, but we're now next door to the region which we want to actually settle our first city in. And there we go, we've discovered the natural first world wonder. Welcome to Vinny Kuncha. I have no idea what it is, but it's a fun rainbow mountain. It gives us 50 era score, but most importantly, if we settle in this region, we get plus 10 stability and plus 10 money on our outpost, which is huge. We're also going to pick up this food, and this will give us an additional tribes member, and then we're going to actually settle our first city. We're going to do it right here as well, so it'll be very jazzy. Oh, and we get the mission here where we get lost souls so that we can create a brand new army as well, and this army is going to run down here and start harvesting up food. Very nice. Now, this tribe settles down our first little civilization point. Fantastic. And it's going to go and pick up this food. Meanwhile, this tribe is going to try and locate some food. Oh, no, that's science. We don't want science, as we want to try and grow our tribe as fast as possible. The more people, the better. Right, it's now turn 11 and our tribe is looking pretty good. We've got a grand total of 8 men between us, and it is now time for us to actually pick our first civilization. So we're going to go for the Egyptians for the early game. They've got a fantastic quantity of industry, and industry is amazing, provided you settle in areas that have a nice supply of food. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Oh, and look at me. It's apparently what the Spiffing Brit would look like if he was an Egyptian. Lovely stuff. Now, of course, taking up is going to give us a fantastic advantage because all of our tribespeople become runners instead, making them much more powerful. And you'll notice we've actually met our neighbor to the south, the green player. Now, the green player probably hates us because there is no escape out of this corner. There are just 2 regions, and what we're going to do is completely and utterly rush them with all of our units. Also, we can even see where they're standing because, you know, you can hover around the map and that red square means that they've got units right there. So I'm just going to be marching all of my armies right the way on down south. They're going to upgrade next turn. turn, and then we're going to go and murder everyone. And here we go. We are now no longer a nomadic tribe. We are the Egyptians. And would you look at that? Our neighbors are still a nomadic tribe, and they want to actually pillage down one of my regions. Well, we're going to go and murder them. We're also going to get the city of Kochab here, which I'm going to rename from Memphis to Chadopolis. And this is where we're going to get down our first lovely pyramid. We're going to build it slab bang over here. Lovely stuff indeed. And this will get our production base set up nice and early. We also now actually get to research stuff, so immediately we'll pick up calendar, and then we'll just spread it all around. Lovely. We've also now actually got our first few civics. This is wonderful. Now, you want to pick up natural right because the +5 influence for the rest of the game is huge, and the rest doesn't particularly matter. Now, off to war for us. We're going to attack these people because they're trying to steal our stuff, and oh, they're going to run away. Of course they are. Well, we have the opportunity to chase them down, but that's actually not of interest to us because I want to burn down their civilization. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go stand on top of Sham here and burn it to the ground. Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, the Egyptians actually buried their first leader surrounded by chocolates and nuts. He was the Ferrero Rocher. Okay, now that is a joke that no one outside of Europe is ever going to understand, but trust me, it was brilliant. I'm going to run one of our squads just down here because I know that there's a natural wonder to be found right about here, and I want to discover it so that we can start gaining its bonuses. It'll be an additional 10 influence per turn, which is huge. Oh, and the tribe to ourselves has now actually evolved. They are now the Assyrians. This gives us slightly less time to murder them, but we still probably have a population advantage over them, and even though they are a cheaty AI, we're going to gut them into the ground. Right now, we're also going to create our lovely religion. I think polytheism will be fantastic. And there we go. We discover this wonder. This gives us an additional 20 gold and 20 influence per turn. And now we'll just run away over here. Meanwhile, our main tribe is going to now head south and burn down the capital of this Green Empire, who I guess we're now technically going to go to war with, but you know, that's fine. Now apparently the Assyrians want to go into a non-aggression pact with us. We're naturally going to refuse because that's a terrible idea. I'm sorry, but no deal is better than a bad deal. And oh my goodness, look at that lovely voice. Oh my. I wonder who was doing that voice that day. They sound fantastic. Now, we've successfully burnt down one of the tribes here, which is lovely. Now we actually need to start running away and transferring some units about. We will now found a new settlement in this exact same location. Lovely stuff. And we're going to go to war with this green tribe here. Now, they have, of course, started, being a little bit cheaty and spawning units and population out of thin air, but now is the time to murder them. So we're going to go to war with the Assyrians right now and besiege their lovely capital. This can just be a simple assault. We've got it in the bag. And there we go, we won. We managed to sneak in, grab their flag and win. We only had one casualty, and that's fantastic. We've now stolen all of their land. They are now completely landless. But there we go, that's a second city, nice and early in the game for us. We'll send one scout off to actually discover all of the resources in this completely OP region, which they gave to the AI, and then we'll send the other squad back up north to actually help with, the fight against the green tribe. Now, whilst the game does say that the Egyptians are a production civ, this is technically completely wrong, as in reality, they're a money civilization. After all, they did invent the pyramid scheme. Now, what you can do if you really want is you can actually play this game on a harder difficulty, because the harder difficulty, the more money you'd get by making these guys a vassal. And of course, if you beeline straight towards them, you can make them a vassal very quickly. Now, we're going to, of course, ignore making them a vassal and instead just straight up have them give us all of their cities. We'll force them to surrender, and fantastic. Now they have absolutely no territories whatsoever. And if they settle any others, we're going to immediately go and burn them down. And with the money they just gave us, we'll build ourselves an artisan quarter right here on this lovely salt deposit, and we now control their capital city, meaning we can have it build our religious site all for us. It's fantastic. So there we go, glorious first success for us. Now what we're going to do is we're not actually going to spend much time in the Egyptian stage. In fact, I'm going to probably skip almost all of this in the recording, as what you want to do is spend as little time in here as possible. Just simply get as many units as you can, get a large population, and get a good production base set up and running. Also, most importantly, get yourself a wonder. The greatest wonder of all, Stonehenge. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to rush towards Stonehenge, get it built in our capital, settle down a couple more outposts in these areas, and then most importantly, tech up and grab ourselves the next culture. Which culture are we going for? Very important, we are going for the Huns. Whilst they have been nerfed, they are completely and utterly insane. Okay, what did the thirsty foal say to Attila the Hun? Can I trouble you for a glass of water? I'm a little horse. Oh dear. Okay, that is quite possibly one of my worst ones. But it is also arguably the best joke in the universe regarding the Huns. So, welcome back to the game. It is now turn 60, a decent amount of time has passed. We of course have all of the lands that we took earlier, which are really decent bits of land. Trust me, look at these. You've got horses, you've got copper. Now, we do know that there's another faction situated on this island right here. We also have a purple faction over here, and we have recently just gone to war with the purple faction and not stolen any of their land, but certainly pillaged them up a bit. But what I have done is I have actually captured a couple of independent city-states. This one up here, we simply invaded with just 2 Hunnic armies. These Hunnic armies have been nerfed. They no longer attack twice, but they do still heal really quickly and can spawn more units for food. This city-state here is one that we didn't actually even have to invade. We just simply threw some golden influence at them and then spent 160 influence simply stealing them and making them mine, which was fantastic. We'll probably do the same with this barbarian tribe that has just spawned right here. But for the meantime, we're going to just be wandering around this purple territory here, trying to see if we can steal some lovely land from them. Oh, now this is a problem. The Englishmen have decided to settle a city right here. Now, of course, the English people are technically in the medieval era. We're not in the medieval era. Now, it looks like, yes, we're just going to go to all the Brits. They're currently in the lead in the game as well, so making them our vassals will be very profitable indeed. So we're going to get all of our Hunnic armies positioned over here. We'll attack them, steal this city, sail over here, and then steal whatever remaining cities they have. Now, I do know that they are around this position, and so technically they could try and jump and take my city here, but we should be okay, especially if we build a palisade for them. Also, we're building our second wonder at the moment, the Mausoleum of Harley-Karnassus. A really good wonder because it provides a great quantity of stability, but more importantly, plus 1% science per district on this city or outpost. So basically, we flood it with science districts, and we never have to worry about anything for the rest of the game. Now, we have entered into a new era, and this is something that we can technically move into, and I do believe we'll still keep all of our amazing horse boys. So let me see if we move into a new era, if there's any good civilizations for us, because of course we want to have the pick of the best. Now, I think we're going to go for the Teutons here, because this way we get money and science for every state religion follower, and we're going to be getting a lot of people following our religion, so we'll be switching on over to the Teutons. And oh, also look at Teutonic Spiff, he looks fantastic. So Teutonic Spiff it is. Meanwhile, we're just going to do a few quick little border skirmishes to try and get all of the Brits out of our land. Oh, and I've jumped into this point of the video to tell you that you are legally required to like the video. Failure to do so will mean that the Spiff avatar in your next Humankind game will activate supersonic game break mode and destroy your entire save file. You have been warned. He'll also drink a lot of tea and dab all over you because he's just that majestic. Now, so far our war against the English is going relatively well. However, there is one minor issue. We don't actually have the technology to actually move into the enemy terrain, so we're having to actually research that very shortly, and then we'll also build some harbors and just sail on over and cause a nuisance. But I did discover one very unique exploit, which is that when you play as the Teutons, you have this amazing bonus here, Expansionist. What this allows you to do is basically you can buy someone else's territory out from underneath them, which is hilarious. If they have an outpost on the territory, you just march a unit over to it and yoink it from them. Now, the thing is, this is a pretty useful thing to do. However, it can actually be cheesed even further, because if you simply click this button, you'll see that there's a red dot for every single outpost and city on the map, meaning you can actually work out exactly how big the map is and also where everyone's empire is. So I can know that Hattusa probably has cities here, 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 and around here. I know that Kerma probably has a city here, and that Babylon has all of these outposts right here. And I know that this empire here probably has all of this. Consequently, we need to murder them. And I know there's probably 2 more unknown empires, one of them here and one of them probably down here. So we'll murder the English and then we'll sail on down south and cause even more chaos. Oh, and also this is the turn where we actually get to build ourselves the amazing Mausoleum of Harley-Karnassus. Lovely. Look at this. This city is now going to be a wonderful producer for science. Now, because we've actually built that wonder, we can claim even more wonders. We just need 1050 influence, but there's a couple of good bad boys out there. Notre Dame especially, +1 faith per research technology sounds wild. Oh god. And then Angkor Wat, +1 food per faith. Oh my goodness. Okay, this sounds fantastic. Now, some of our cities produce incredible quantities of faith. This city produces 60, a city down here produces 10, but basically we just need to find a city, remove as many religious-y buildings as possible, build that bad boy, and then watch all of the food problems disappear away. So I think this city right here will make for a fantastic demonstration of that eventually. But until then, we are starting to learn how to sail on the oceans. So actually I'll move as many people as I can into research, and we'll try and get this lovely technology researched out as soon as possible. Oh, and fantastic, a new wonder can be claimed. Lovely. Now, of course, we're going to steal the Angkor Wat, because yep, that's exactly what we want to do. Well, bam, it is now ours. No one else can have it. Lovely stuff. Oh, and that's right, we're now actually able to land onto the lands of the Brits. Fantastic. So all of our ships are about to land. It's time for us to get a little bit of revenge on them. Now, we just managed to defeat all of the lovely British armies using this stack of 4 horse reinforcement. I actually realized that I hadn't actually researched organized warfare, meaning I had no way of reinforcing my men. And as soon as we researched that, yeah, it was incredible. We won basically instantaneously. So with all that now pretty much sorted, it's time we peace out with the English. And of course, we're going to force them to become a vassal and give us 450 gold as well as 2 of their lovely regions. So we force a surrender. They of course have to accept. And lovely. They are completely and utterly hate-filled towards us, but it's okay. Oh, this is fantastic. We now have access to all of their information, which is a huge boost, as well as all of their luxury resources, which stack with all of our existing luxury resources to make our cities ridiculously powerful. All of our cities that did have issues with stability, that's now all gone out of the window. Also, now we're making 443 gold per turn, because as you can see, we're making 325 gold from our vassal tribute. Now, we don't get all of our vassals' gold. We get like 25 or 50% of it, I'm not sure. Certainly they get to keep the majority of it, and I can tell you that their empire, right here, consisting of 3 cities, is not making over 600 gold per turn. No, it's not making 650 gold per turn. But of course, it actually is, because the AI is cheating and consequently is just being handed money. And we get a portion of that stolen money, which is fantastic for us. Terrible, of course, for the AI, but, you know, we just don't really care about them. Now, what do we do with our stack of horses? I guess we just continue onwards towards San Lorenzo. We could probably relatively easy sweep all of their lands and pick them up as a vassal, once again providing us with more and more infinite money. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. I still can't believe how broken this game is, because some of the units are about as powerful as a docile sea sponge, and yet others can just punch a hole through the moon. There is no balance in this. Oh, this game. Now, I often say games are perfectly balanced with no exploits, but honestly, this game has been about as balanced as a seesaw and an earthquake. I generally can't see what more bugs are going to be created when the developers actually try and balance this out. It's going to be a beautiful joyride. Oh, we've met the Aztecs, also known as myself, and they want a non-aggression pact. That sounds fantastic. Yes, I love trading with myself. I accept me. Oh, it feels so funky just working with myself. Anyway, we'll just march our armies over into their territories, and we'll take out their capital city, which consists of just one single unit. Shouldn't be too difficult at all. Things have gone absolutely fantastic for us in this era. It has been an absolute cakewalk, and what we're about to do, because we're making so much gold per turn, we're going to buy this city right here from the Etruscans. It's 416 gold. Wabam, it's now mine. What are we going to do with it? Well, I think next turn we'll just immediately attach it to this city. I think that would be the largest logical decision to make. There we go, a fantastic, another city under our control. What's the downsides of having additional cities? Well, you lose influence per turn, but I mean, when you're making this much influence per turn, does it really matter? No, it does not. Alright, now I think it's probably time we move on to the next era, and we are going to head for the wonderful, completely and perfectly balanced Joseon faction, which I'm pretty sure is like Proto-Korean or Japanese, I can't remember. Anyway, we're going to pick those bad boys because they're going to give us a lot of additional science, so we confirm our movement over. And wabam, a brand new era. Look at our lovely new buildings. Ah, truly majestic. Such a wonderful empire we do have. Right, welcome back everyone. It's turn 100, and next turn we actually finish off the Angkor Wat, which is fantastic. We're currently very much in the lead and absolutely crushing the AI. I mean, the second best AI player is our vassal state, which is, you know, just a fun thing to have access to. Now, you see, down here to our south, we do have the lovely Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, and as we're playing as the lovely Joseon, what we can do is we can convert all industry and money into science, I know, just in one of our cities. And the thing is, seeing as we have this gigantic monument here, which actually increases the percentage quantity of science this city outputs the more districts it has, I got thinking that perhaps we could do something a little bit cheeky here, especially considering we can now build commons quarters that just provide stability. They don't take anything away, they just provide stability. Now that's a problem. So without further ado, we're going to see that our current science per turn is 492, but what we're going to do is convert all of the industry and money in this city into science, but when it's stacked on top of all of the modifiers we have here, it should do something relatively magical. So 3, 2, 1, bam, and yes, 382 science. Lovely. Now, it does make it completely and utterly impossible for us to actually build things in this city, but luckily we have money for that. And this should allow us to hopefully start shaving away massively at all of this technology. And now that we have the Angkor Wat actually built, this city over here should actually be becoming quite incredible. Yep, now 90 food per turn. Lovely stuff. This city is going to be set for life in terms of population now. And I guess we actually need to start worrying about what other wonders we're going to go for next. Oh, and fantastic. fantastic. It's literally the next turn, but we can already choose our next wonder. This is lovely. Now, when it actually comes to our next era unit, I think I've discovered exactly who I'm going to pick. Of course, we're going to pick the British, ladies and gentlemen. Who else would we choose? Now, this is going to absolutely massacre our science because we gain a huge amount of science from just the water around our cities. But, you know, that plus 5% science per number of territories on the capital does kind of feel like it could have room for exploitation. So you know what, whilst I won't do anything about it just now, as soon as we do move to the next era, it's going to be fantastic. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, you lovely majestic sausages. As you can see, it is now turn 163 and some lovely time has passed. Oh, we're being attacked here. Bam, quick resolve, lovely stuff. Now, we of course attacked our previous vassal state here, stole their capital, it is now ours. All is wonderful. We can now actually also even move into the next era. And I mean, you know, we probably should. We have 40k gold in the bank as well, so what I'm going to do is kind of break the science system a bit by merging these two cities together, and that should successfully summon science out of thin air. As you can see, we make 21,000 science right here, but no, when we merge our two cities, wabam, now up to 2,500. Majestic. I did actually want to pick our next lovely civilization. I was going to pick the Japanese because look, they apparently have the ability to buy out technology. That sounds amazing. I love that. However, we don't get to. Because as soon as I press this button, it's game over, ladies and gentlemen. They boot me out. They tell me I've had too much fun and they evict me. So instead, I'm just going to continue having fun and cyberbullying the AI. Now, things have gone absolutely fantastic. We have basically near limitless money, and honestly, our empire is just beautiful. I love it. I want to build Big Ben though, because I think Big Ben would be beautiful. Oh yes, we got a merchant star as well, so even more points for me. Oh, my era score farming is going splendidly. We're making so much money. We've killed everything we could possibly kill. I guess now we just wait for influence and district building to actually catch up. Alright, and next turn we should get ourselves the wonderful Big Benny boy. That's right, it's going to be our brand new amazing wonder, and it's ours. Look at him go. And that means we can actually immediately build a new wonder. Oh my goodness. Why not? Let's just steal all of the modern wonders because the AI isn't able to get to them. Oh my goodness, the game is really lagging now. And all good things must come to an end. The game will end in 25 turns. No. Game, how dare you? I'm so close to just winning wonderfully at everything. Oh, well, I mean, of course it was going to eventually come to an end. That's a shame. Okay, now here's the thing. We're going to have everything rushing to build the Eiffel Tower just to see if we can build it before the end of the game. And I think we can manage it. Absolutely every city in our empire is going to be working on just getting the Eiffel Tower up and going. And yes, I think we can do it in 18 turns. Lovely. All of the cities are working to building the Eiffel Tower all together. This is wonderful. I will finish this game with all of the wonders if I can. All right, we're going to build a hamlet. This is going to give us increased production in this city. How much is a hamlet? 13k. Okay, we'll buy it in a couple of turns' time. All right, there we go. That hamlet has allowed us to shave 1 turn off of the Eiffel Tower. We've got it down to 9 turns, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get all of the wonders before the end of the game. I want the Eiffel Tower, and I also want the Statue of Liberty. Everything will be mine. All right, next turn we get the Eiffel Tower. Fantastic. Just 1 turn away from this glorious sausage. And then that gives us 9 turns to then try and build the Statue of Liberty. So Eiffel Tower was 20,000 production. That was a lot of work. Let's see if we can do it. All right, there we go. Eiffel Tower complete. That's 100 era score. And can I even get the Statue of Liberty? Am I able to claim it? No wonder available. Why? It was claimed by the Zulu. What the hell? Oh my goodness. So that means there's nothing for me. Oh, we've managed it. Well, we took everything. We really did. And well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've achieved an incredible era score. We've completely cleared out the game, and it has been a wonderful walk in the park in terms of challenges. It has been glorious. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here today, ladies and gentlemen, then make sure to give the video a like. And heck, if you want to see more Humankind videos like this, then make sure to give me a shout in the comment section, because it lets both myself and the developers know that you're interested in more perfectly balanced, jazzy Humankind content. As always, a massive thank you to each and every one of our amazing tea-drinking sausages of Patreons who make videos like this all the more possible. Thank you very much, you lovely people. Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have an absolutely lovely day, and goodbye for now.